I don't know about you guys, but it's been a doozy of a day for me. Let's see if it's been a doozy of a day for the news. Ciao Bianconeri, I'm Justin Sofra. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. It is June 6th, 2021. I apologize. I have everything written down in front of me in the form of, I think it's the European, I guess it's the rest of the world writes month, day, or is it, no, they write day, month, year. Here in America, we do everything backwards compared to you all, and we're never changing it, but we have it, it's a month, day, year. So whenever I read it, I'm like, it's not September. Anyway, welcome back. It is June 9, 2021. We have some news we're going to drive through. I apologize. I'm running late today. Had a big day with my day job. Didn't get done until now, so we're going to run through it. I think it's probably good that it was because I heard there was a bit of news that broke at the end that we'll talk about shortly. All right, starting off, we're jumping into it. First news we have is the possibility of Andrea Belotti to Juve. Tutto Sport reported that Belotti is the name Juventus is thinking about. Allegri is a big fan of his. However, the deal is very difficult to do with Torino not willing to sell to Juventus. As well, Torino owner Cairo, I apologize if it's pronounced differently than that, but that's how it reads to me, and I've never really learned his name. But he asked about Juventus on Belotti. He stated, "I haven't had any kind of approach with Juventus in this regard, and even if they ask me, never in life. At Juve, don't make me laugh." I don't understand. I mean, I understand there's a rivalry there between Torino and Juventus, but I also don't fully understand his passion against Juventus. I don't know if it's because Belotti is the Torino captain, but he always seems to have this hate for Juventus when it comes to that, even though Juventus is, loaning and selling them players like Mandragora, or wait, Mandragora. Is it Mandragora or is it Mandragora? I can't, I'm sure I'm saying something wrong. I always forget it, whatever. Anyway, moving on in the news, here's my opinion when it comes to, Belotti and Juventus. I would take him. Obviously, I'm a shill for the Italian national players. Is he one of Italy's best players? No, he's not. But I think he's a solid striker. I liked what I see. And the big part of it goes into our striker question mark and the other names that I've heard. I'd rather have Andrea Belotti than it comes to a lot of these other players that have been mentioned for Juventus. We'll go ahead and move into that now, and we'll keep covering it. So basically, the striker question marks the next big topic when it comes to Juventus and the market of who they may be going after outside of any kind of midfield players, anything like that. Corriere della Sera is saying that if Ronaldo should leave, Icardi is the priority. This changes should Cristiano stay. In that case, the target would be Zico. Yeah, I think, okay. Well, there's a couple covering that, so let me get through this before I sign myself into despair. And then Gazzetta dello Sport is saying Juventus have already made first contacts with City for Jesus. A loan plus redemption could be the basis of the deal. And then Corriere dello Sport is saying Zico could really sign for Juve. Whether Ronaldo leaves or stays, Roma want to lower the salary cap and will let him go at a bargain price. Juve can reach an agreement with Eden for a 2-year contract with an option for the third year at $5.5 million. Plus bonuses. All right, let me get this out. Okay, I don't know how to say. I'm so tired of the Zico. We don't need a play. He's 35 years old. We don't need that. The reason I'd rather have Belotti over him is while depending on, some people may say Zico's a better player, but overall Belotti is younger. Zico's days are numbered. I don't feel like he had a great season last year. If I'm wrong, correct me, but I don't believe so. And then Belotti, he's 27 years old. That's an 8-year gap right now. Like, to me, I'd rather have the younger player. But again, it doesn't seem like Belotti's even a possibility because of the Torino ownership. So to me, I would just look elsewhere. Of course, my name, one of my number one, again, biased. All this, so I keep saying it. It's all, covered. But my bias is, of course, I'd love to have Moise Kean back. He'd be the main player that I would really like to see. He looked great for a lot of the year for PSG, and I really would hate to see PSG land him full time. All right, moving on. We'll talk about Locatelli again, and that was their bid made. So it appears from Gazzetta dello Sport, they're saying that the negotiations for Locatelli are in full swing, and Juventus have made their first offer, 25 million euros, and the availability of a player of their choice. Sassuolo would want 40 million, but having the choice between Rovella and Fagioli could change that. Those are the two names we've been hearing it all yesterday. And something like that, so it's not really surprising. And I think I may have mumbled there. Apologize. Locatelli today in an interview said, "I'm thinking about the pitch on the real things. The rest is just talks. As long as there's nothing, there's no point in talking." Generic player speech. What are you going to say until a deal's done, or somebody else makes an offer, or that you agree to a deal that you like. I like the deal. I would like to see what Rovella could turn into, and then Fagioli, of course. I'd rather of the two. I'd probably rather send Rovella there just because I feel like Fagioli has a higher ceiling than him. But overall, I'm more than okay with sacrificing either one of those to get Locatelli. Then going off of that, Fagioli's agent speaks up. Nicolo has shown, and this is a quote from him, saying that Nicolo has shown when he was called upon in the league against Crotone and in the Coppa Italia against Spal that he is ready for this level. He's improved by training with the big boys, and at 20, he can only do better. Cherubini and Allegri know him well. They respect him a lot and expect a lot from him. Without the national team player, there will be more space for young players. Allegri will have the chance to see them again after 2 years and to test them. So, I mean, not really. I don't really have a lot to comment on that. I understand his point. I just said it right before I read it, that I feel like he has a higher ceiling than Rovella, and he definitely has a lot where he can go. I saw promise from him and what he showed during those two matches, but he's still young. He's still got time to grow. I would, if possible, I'd like to keep him, but if Sassuolo want him for Locatelli and to lower that price, I'm okay with it as well. Going on, so Romeo Agresti reported earlier today that basically Bentancur's almost become unsellable this year for Juventus because the Boca Junior Bentancur sell deal, there's a clause that's still valid today. And basically, if they sold Bentancur to another club anywhere, it would be more than 40% that would go to Boca Juniors. So it would just be kind of useless to sell him right now, which is unfortunate. And then finally, some big news broke later today, or later in this day, I guess, but regarding the Super League. And basically what it came out and said that the UEFA has suspended the disciplinary proceedings against Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus. In a release, let's see, in an article basically it said following the opening of disciplinary proceedings against FC Barcelona, Juventus FC, and Real Madrid FC, or CF, for potential violations of UEFA's legal framework in connection with the so-called Super League project, the UEFA appeals body has decided to stay the proceedings until further notice. So, just saying that, it's suspended for now. And then the UEFA put out an official statement saying, let me get ready for this. UEFA takes note of the decision taken today by the independent UEFA appeals body to temporarily suspend the disciplinary proceedings that have been opened against FC Barcelona and Juventus FC and Real Madrid CF for potential violations of UEFA legal framework in connection with the so-called Super League project. Again, I'm going to read through this, but just so you know, and I know people said that sometimes I talk fast, especially if English isn't your first language. If it's not, I know that there's also an option to slow down my the video speed to like a half or 75%. So I'd suggest maybe doing that just in case, because sometimes I just roll, and today's been a long day already. UEFA notes that the decision to temporarily stay the proceedings has been taken by the UEFA appeals body following the formal notification made to UEFA by the Swiss competent authorities on June 2nd, 2021 of an ex parte court order obtained on April 2021 by legal entity Europa Super League company SL from the Madrid commercial. Okay, a bunch of nonsense. The decision of the independent UEFA body has been taken without prejudice to the question about the enforceability of the court order in Switzerland. And in reliance on the court order, this mentioned 3 clubs have sought to shield themselves from potential disciplinary consequences related to this so-called Super League project. UEFA understands why the disciplinary proceedings need to be suspended for the time being, but remains confident in and will continue to defend its position in all relevant jurisdictions. Basically, if there's one thing we're reading from this, is get your popcorn ready. There's been some rumors, maybe a statement by a guy, we don't know how reliable or what it is, but basically, if this were to proceed and any kind of legal action were to be taken, Schäferin would look pretty bad and could face legal actions himself. I even heard, possibility of arrest. So we don't know. That's just hearsay for now. But it's interesting. Get your popcorn ready. This could get exciting. And it could, it could make Juventus, Barcelona, and Real Madrid. When I say this, we don't know for sure, but they could be better off than the other clubs that are end up paying whatever percentage they are back to UEFA right now if they go through and win this. But as it stands right now, it appears that Juventus will be able to play in Champions League this coming year, and so will the other teams. So they're not in any kind of possibility of missing out on this coming season. So that's all we know. That's all the news I have for you today, but check in with us tomorrow to get the latest roundup covering all things Juventus. Please like the video and subscribe, as it really helps us as we're growing and starting out. And don't forget to hit that bell to stay up to date and get notified as soon as our latest videos drop. Follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram, and follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter. Forza Bianconeri.